Tomodachi Life Living the Dream has been out for a month now, but has it actually held up? So with life sim games like this, you're sometimes able to play them for a very long time. Something like Animal Crossing New Horizons, there's people who have played this since it came out. Tomodachi Life on 3DS, people have played for a long time. Sims, whatever game it might be. These games don't have any ending. It's just you building your world, building your characters, and it's kind of just meant to be an escape from real life, just being a cozy simulation. But after 1 month now, has Tomodachi Life Living the Dream actually kept me engaged? Well, the short answer is not really. So I've made multiple videos going over this where I was still kind of playing the game, but it's gotten to a point where I'm just not really motivated to play that much anymore. Like, I actually played it today for the first time in a week, and I just didn't really see anything new. Now, that's not to say that I didn't have any fun with the game or that it wasn't worth it at all, but I was hoping to get a little more out of it. So let me start by saying when I first got this game, I was addicted to it. For like the first week or so, I was checking it multiple times a day. I made probably around 40 Miis so far. A lot of them coming in the first couple days. I spent most of that time customizing my island, trying to unlock all the big things. But as someone who's not super good at drawing or anything like that, the game kind of lost me quicker than I would have liked. Like, there wasn't really any side mode to distract me. Like, the 3DS version had the concert hall, which was a nice distraction. It had the Street Pass system, which was a nice distraction. It had Tomodachi Quest. It had things to check in on, like, at certain points of the day. Like, if I wanted to do Tomodachi Quest, if I want to see the rap battle. And Living the Dream has distractions, but its distraction, which is not really a distraction, a more core gameplay component, is the island design, which is really great. Like, don't get me wrong, I love being able to customize my island, but I wish we had some more side modes. Like, if Tomodachi Life on 3DS didn't have the concert hall, didn't have the traveler system, didn't have things like that, it didn't have the events, it would have ran out really quickly, but I was able to play it for a long time. And not to say that the game isn't repetitive at all, or it doesn't have its own issues, it does. But I don't think that's an excuse for Living the Dream, which came out 12 years after that on a much more powerful system, to say, well, the 3DS version has these issues, so we shouldn't criticize Living the Dream for having the same issues. Like, that logic has always kind of confused me. And to its credit, Living the Dream does things the 3DS version didn't do. Like, the world is a lot more connected. You have a lot more customization with your world and your Miis. But that doesn't necessarily make it for something that I could play for a long time. And I know some people already have like 100 hours in and have played like 5 hours a day and gotten bored of it. But for me, outside really the first 3 days or so, where I probably played like a few hours each day, I haven't really spent that much time. Like, I've probably spent half hour to an hour, like a few days here and there. Like, sometimes even less, just checking and seeing if anyone wants to be friends, like feeding some Miis, buying the new items. And that was something that kept me like motivated to keep checking the game every day for the first like 2 to 3 weeks or so, where I was kind of starting to lose interest, but I wanted to just try and buy the items and try to have like more couples on the island. And I have there's a few couples on the island for me, but the gameplay loop just wasn't really that rewarding for me. Like, one of the biggest things in the 3DS version was when a couple would have a baby and it would take some time for the baby to be raised, and then they could go out to other islands. Like, it's a cutscene in Living the Dream. And it kind of just like has one of the big moments in the game just kind of fall flat. And when the payoff in these kinds of games just doesn't really hit, it's just hard to keep you engaged for so long. Now, if you are still playing this game every day, if you still love it, I'm really happy for you, because I want people to get enjoyment out of games. I don't want people to play games and not enjoy them, because the whole point of video games is entertainment. So I'm not trying to tell you you're wrong or anything if you still love this game, because I assume that you just have different preferences when it comes to gaming or when it comes to Sims. And it's kept you engaged long. Whether you didn't play the 3DS version, so you don't have experience with it, and this is like a new thing for you, whether you really love the design elements of it, whatever reason it might be, like, your reason for liking this game is valid. And I do like this game. So I know I've said a lot of negatives on it. I know I've said some negatives on it in other videos, but I do think it's a fun game. I don't think it's worth $60 for me personally. Like, I think if I paid $50 for it, it would have been a better price, because I don't think there's, from my perspective, my subjective perspective, I don't think it was worth $60. But it's not like this game sucked or anything, or that I didn't get any enjoyment out of it. Like, if I could go back in time and tell my past self about this game, I would still say to get it, because I still got enjoyment out of it. And just because I think it's maybe like $10 overpriced, it doesn't mean I wish that I didn't play it at all. My biggest issue for this game is that, like I said in one of my other videos, is that it kind of has a New Horizons problem, where it takes a lot of great things, like having more customization is a good thing, but instead of just using that as something else in the game, it uses it as a replacement for a lot of things. When New Horizons came out, it was lacking a lot of content. There were characters and shops and tasks that were lacking from previous games, and it was replaced with just the ability to terraform the world and just customize that more. And while that's all great, it doesn't mean that we want to lose other things in the process to get that. And New Horizons over time did get better, but it still had some of the same issues. For example, the villager interactions just seemed like they were too nice, like it felt very samey. It didn't feel like they had the same personality, and that was a big issue in New Horizons. And now in Living the Dream, they added all this great customization for the Miis and the islands and the interiors and exteriors and everything like that. But in the process, we lost things like the events, like some of the locations and features. And for a game that was in development for so long and a successor to an already fantastic game, I just don't think there's enough. Like, you have your few basic interactions. The big one and everyone's favorite color to see when you have like the bubble things is pink, because that's related to love, and it means they're going to ask someone out, they want to ask for advice, they want to get married, whatever it might be. Like, those are the most interesting. And then the orange ones, which are friendship related. There's red, which I've seen like twice, like maybe 2 or 3 times, which is about a fight. And like at this point, I just barely check. There's the green lines or yellow lines, because it's just like the same thing. Like it feels like every time a me wants to play a game, it's going to be like coin flip or red light, green light. Like, I wish they spent a lot more time adding more of these, so you could play this game for a couple weeks and still be finding new mini games or find new interactions entirely. Because pretty much the only interactions at that point, like besides the mini games and me asking you for some sort of advice, is them like wanting to place something random on your island. And it's cool for like the first few times, but over time, it just kind of makes you lose interest, at least for me. And I'm an adult at this point. When the 3DS version came out when I was like 11 or 12 years old, like I had so much time to play that whenever I wanted, to play whatever other games I wanted at that point. If you're enjoying this video so far, would really appreciate if you like and subscribe. I cover a lot of Nintendo topics here, so there'll probably be something you enjoy. But now, like, I still have some time to play video games, but I have a full-time job. It's not realistic for me to have all this free time all the time to play video games. I could spend like 15-30 minutes playing Tomodachi Life, which would take away time from playing a story game I'm playing, but it's just not really motivating me anymore. When I first got it, it was for a little bit. And yeah, it's a game you don't need to play for that long. Like, there was a couple times where I would just pick it up for a few minutes and check. But even that, like, that's something I could do, but I just haven't been motivated to. And over time, it's just kind of gotten to a point where I'm picking it up less and less, to the point where I'm not really playing it anymore. Now, I'm not saying that you have to play this game for a year to get your value out of it, but I do wish that there was more to keep me coming back, especially since I'm not someone who was putting hours in every single day when I first got this. For the first few days, like I said, I was. But there's people I've seen who had 100 hours in within like the first 2 weeks, like something crazy like that. But I think maybe I had 15, 20 hours, something like that in the first couple weeks, which really isn't that much in the grand scheme of things. And I see a lot of people who even really love this game, people who are still playing it, have kind of the same issues. Like the same issues I've repeated many times, but the game is very repetitive, and it's hard to avoid being repetitive in a life sim, but there's ways to make it less repetitive. So a lot of the people who are still playing it, who have been playing it for over a month now, are people who are just super creative, who are using it to draw, like to make whatever designs they want, because some of these designs I've seen people make take a long time. Like I saw someone make Peach's castle, which looks insane, but that takes a long time. So if you have the patience for that and you have the artistic ability to do that, it makes sense to do that because it gives you a lot more to do. But a lot of people aren't like that. We're just not that good at drawing. It's not like you can save someone's design from online or anything and use that to customize your world. More like you have to make it yourself or do local sharing with a friend. And I think it's a totally valid criticism to say that this game loses a lot of its appeal if you're not someone who's into the painting aspect of this game, or at least that's not a big selling point to you. Like, if you ask me what Nintendo could do to make me come back to this game, I would say add in more locations. Give us more important things to unlock. Like, what if they added a stadium, an aquarium, a museum, something like that? Something to just give you more to unlock, like more events. Like, imagine they could have baseball games or something, like, or there could be two different teams of Miis and you can watch them. Maybe you have some interactions there. Imagine if the concert hall came back or something like that. Imagine if they added more personality types. Like, imagine if you could have a villain on the island, because you can't really do that. No matter what personality you make someone, like, they're still overall just gonna be nice for the most part. And it would have been really interesting to have villains, or have someone maybe who could sabotage other people. Like having rivals, which you really won't have much. Like, you'll have people get into fights sometimes, but they'll pretty much just avoid each other, or they'll throw things at each other for a little bit. Like, have more variety in interactions. Besides the basic ones of just a mini game or wanting to play something. Like, come up with something else to add. Have some sort of curated sharing, because obviously this game can't have normal online sharing because it's a Nintendo game and there's no restrictions. So I'm not blaming Nintendo for taking away these online restrictions, but it would be cool if they could curate something where they could give you the option to download some Miis or some designs. And also something, I don't know if they would change at this point because it would be a pretty major change, is make it so when a couple has a baby, it's not just a cutscene. Like, what if it takes a week for them to grow up like it did in the original? Imagine if there could be like daycares or something also, where they can become friends with other kids as they grow up. Or like if they can go to school or something like that. Like, maybe an interaction could be that they ask you for help on a test. Like, they say, I need to answer this question on the test. What's the correct answer? And it's like an island trivia or something like that. Like, you start to add things like that and it starts to compound, and then you're getting more interactions. It becomes less repetitive. Now, I'm not a developer. I'm not a professional game designer or anything. Nintendo has people who can come up with better ideas than me, and I don't doubt that they will add stuff. Tomodachi Life sold incredibly well, and I'm happy that it sold well because this is a series I want to be supported, both with DLC and future entries. And by DLC, I mean content that's hopefully free. But I want to see the series be the best it can be. Like, a problem I've seen is so many people who were just so hyped for this game, waiting for it for so long, that they're kind of just ignoring criticism or ignoring flaws the game has because they just want to be so overly positive towards this game to justify the wait and just, I guess, try to convince themselves it's better than it is. But I don't believe in that, because I believe that if you love a game or a franchise, you should want it to be the best that it can be. So criticize it, as long as it's a valid criticism, as long as you can back up your reasonings, as long as you can come up with some other ideas of what you would like to see improved. Because then maybe if enough people speak about it, they'll make changes. Like with New Horizons, it became a much better game because a lot of people had complaints about it. And it became a better game over time, and it still became a better game in 2026 when the game released in 2020. Like, trying to silence any criticism of this game or ignore flaws doesn't do it any justice. If you really love this game, you'll try to be critical of it. I'm sure I'll go back to this game more. Like, I'm not saying I'm never gonna play it again until it gets an update. Like, I will play it again. Like, I might have 15 minutes to spare or something and just check on the island, see how everything is doing. Maybe I come up with an idea for me or something. Maybe I want to see what's in the stores or something. Like, I will go back to it. But I want to do more than just check in on it. I want to be motivated to interact with more Miis and do more and try to unlock more. So I do hope this game gets better, and I want to know your opinions. If you are still loving this game, like I said, that's awesome for you, because I'm glad you've been able to get more enjoyment out of this game than I have. Like, I think it's a fun game. I can see why someone would like it more than me. I can see why someone would like it less than me. If you're someone who is on the fence about buying this, I would say that's on you. I think $60 is a little bit of a steep price for this. I think if you could find it for $40 or $50, if it does go down in price, which Nintendo games often don't, definitely worth it for something like that. But everyone's experience when it comes to this game is going to be different. For me, if I had to give it a rating now, which I don't like to do for these kinds of games until like a few months have passed, like to really get a better idea. But if I had to give a rating now, I'd say like somewhere maybe like a low 7s, 7.5 at the absolute highest, because the game has some truly great customization. It is a very fun game for what it is, but it just does wear down over time, and it is more repetitive than I would like. But that's just my take on it. If you want to see a few other videos I've made, you can check out my channel, and also be sure to subscribe because I'll probably have more videos on it coming soon. And I'll see you next time.